friends, welcome to Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel. In this video, we'll solve one more tricky C question. Hope you are excited, so let's get started. Here I have taken two variables x equal to 3 and y equal to 3, and I have placed a while loop here, and in the while loop condition I have taken a logical AND expression. In my previous video also I have discussed about this logical AND and logical OR. The only thing that you should know about this logical AND is that whenever the logical AND is evaluated, the second expression would be evaluated only if the first expression is false. That means generally what do you mean by AND operator? If both the conditions are true, then only final output would be true. If the first expression is returning false, then there is no need to evaluate the second expression. Final output, you can decide the final output as true or false. If the first expression is false, then first expression is true in the case of logical AND, then second expression may be true or false. So here there is a necessity to evaluate the second expression. So second expression will be evaluated only if the first expression is false in the case of logical AND. So here minus x and minus y. So first what happens is minus x is nothing but pre-decrement operator. So minus x is nothing but and double, and if you take minus y, that is one value would be reduced, that is y would be 2. So 2 and 2, both x and y becomes 2 and 2. So 2 is considered as a true value, and any numerical value other than 0 in C language is considered as a true value. So true and true is nothing but true. That means output would be 1. 1 is nothing but true. So whenever 1 is the final output of this expression, what will happen? This statement would be executed. That is, output would be 2 and 2 in the first iteration. This is the first iteration. So next, again execution goes back, flow goes back, and a condition has been checked. That is minus x. Now already x value is 2 and y value is 2. Now minus x is nothing but 1 and minus y is nothing but 1. That is 2 is been reduced to 1 because of the second time execution of this expression minus x true and true. 1 is also considered as true value. So both the conditions are, so final AND will be, so here the output would be, so now the while loop, the final output is 1 here. That means while of 1 is nothing but true. So what is x value and y value? So loop body, in the loop body we are printing xy. So 1 and 1 is a second iteration output. Coming to the third iteration, minus x. The previous xy values are xy values are 1 and 1. So now operate on the same values. So minus x is nothing but 0, and as I have already said, it is not a bitwise AND, it is a logical AND. So that's the reason I'm not going to evaluate the second expression. Why I will not evaluate second expression? First condition is already false. Then whether the second condition is true or false, second expression is true or false, my final output would be true only. So here I will not evaluate the second expression. So with the help of the first output only, I am declaring the entire expression is going to return false. If there are 99 expressions in the case of logical AND, first expression is false and the remaining 99 expressions would not be evaluated, because the condition is that AND will return true only if all the conditions are true. Already first is false, then there is no necessity. But in the case of bitwise AND, all the expressions will be evaluated. Output would be same, whether it is bitwise AND or logical AND, output would be same. But the second expression evaluation will differ in the case of logical AND. So what will happen if you print output here in the third iteration? The value would be, what is the value? X value would become 0. The final output is 0 here, no? So whenever the final output is 0, that is while of 0. While of 0 is nothing but false. So printf would not be executed. In fact, printf would not be executed. But I am asking you the final value of x and y. I am not displaying the x value, but I am asking the final value of x and y. So I will take one more printf here. So I will show you. So sometimes they will not give printf also separately. They will ask you just what would be the final value of x and y. X comma y slash n. So the final value of x and y, outside that I am printing would be x would be 0 and y is still 1. Y would be still 1 only, because minus y has not been evaluated. That is the thumb rule here. So if we execute this statement, okay, 2 2, first iteration, 1 1, second iteration, third iteration, 0 and third iteration, third iteration the condition is false, so loop body will not be executed. So that's why outside the loop I'm separately showing the x value. At the end x values are 0 and y that have been printed outside the while loop, because second y is not been evaluated. That's it. That's why it is still 1. Whereas first expression has been changed to 0. First expression has been evaluated. That's it, friends. Thank you for watching this video. I'm pretty sure that you would have enjoyed this video, so please like it, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel for regular updates like this. Thanks for being with us. Have a great day.